All right, good evening. And it's Tuesday night, July 24th, and we have another episode of Hell's Kitchen. Tonight we had 7 chefs competing, and um, so let's get to it. We lost Kimmy last week, and the girls were lamenting it a bit. And the promo guy made us think there was going to be a big showdown between Barbie, Christina, and Dana, but there wasn't. The promo man lied. He does that a lot. I don't like Hell's Kitchen promos or liars. So what did I write down tonight? Okay, so the challenge, oh my goodness, the challenge. One of the most shocking things I've ever seen on Hell's Kitchen. I'm really surprised Chef Ramsay hasn't just scrapped this season and sent them all home because besides Christina, Dana, Barbie, and Justin, I think everyone else just needs to be wiped off that plate. So the challenge was this. They had to create 3 normal dishes that would they make every night: risotto, lamb, and cod. And they had 5 minutes each in the kitchen, and then the timer would go, and they'd have to explain what they were doing to the next person. This is a challenge Chef Ramsay does every year, the communications challenge, except I don't think he's ever used regular dishes. But this crew is so horrible with the regular dishes that I think this was their extra practice. And boy, did they not learn. So the blue team had 4 people on it, so 2 of them got to cook twice. And the red team rotated twice through everybody, so that was pretty easy for them. People were forgetting things. It wasn't a good scene. But, who wins, right? The challenges always have a winner. Not this time. But first in Hell's Kitchen history, there is no challenge winner. Everything they brought up, every single dish, was disgusting, raw, or horrible in some way, and nobody got a point. All of them became losers, and their punishment was to um, wash the trucks outside and wash the outside of Hell's Kitchen. What would they have won? Well, Chef Ramsay said they would have had a beach club to themselves and a helicopter ride. Awesome. And when we find out they go outside to wash the cars, James is there with a classic red convertible, and he tells them that's what they would have ridden in to the helicopter taking them to their private beach. No such thing. Not happening. Oh, Chef Ramsay is not happy camper. So outside they do the cleaning, it all gets done, Robin irritates some people. Then it's time for dinner service. All right, lots went down during dinner service. First of all, they're playing for the black jackets. It's going to be 6 black jackets given out at the end of this evening. Will anyone get one? That's the question I'm wondering. So appetizers started out really well. Blue team was Clemenza. He had no problems cooking everything perfectly, which is a surprise. Christina made great risotto, but too much of it. Then Chef Ramsay almost caught her. He stopped her in time from dumping the old risotto, the extra, into the new, and reminded her that there's different cooking times. Because at Chef Ramsay's place, you don't reuse old stuff. Even though I get what she's doing, conserving food always seems not a priority in Hell's Kitchen. So Clemenza made, in the risotto department, made 3 different pans of risotto for the same table. And we've seen this before. You can't do that because you end up with different colored risottos. You have to make them in one pan. So Chef Ramsay made them all chant, one pan, a whole bunch of times. Barbie had a good night. She was trying to help Christina, which we saw in the promos, but there wasn't a big fight. Christina is stubborn and doesn't accept help from anybody, so it served her right when she served burnt risotto later. Oh well. Brian's specialty of the evening was raw meat and overcooked Wellingtons. He was a downright disaster on the meat table. At the end, Chef Ramsay made Barbie come because she was cooking awesome Wellingtons and cooked them for Brian. People were starting to leave from the blue side because they weren't getting their food. During one crazy moment in the kitchen, Brian's meats backed up Robin's garnish, so Robin took her garnish away after being told by Ramsay to remove it. But Justin said something about keeping the sauces in the hot oven, in the holding oven. But Robin took that to mean all her garnishes, so when she was caught with all her garnishes in the oven, she blamed her entire team for it, when really it was just a misunderstanding between her and Justin. What she should have said was, I misunderstood what Justin said. I thought he said to put the garnishes in, but he said just the sauces, and that would have been the end of it. No, but she blows up, my team's a bunch of liars, and then she calls out Justin later and calls him a big liar. Then Justin's fish was, yeah, this was awesome. So after this whole blow up, Justin serves reheated fish that he's hidden from Chef Ramsay. Where are you? Like, where in the world are you? Like, this is Hell's Kitchen, season 10. I've watched 10 seasons of this show. I know you don't reserve stuff, keep it in a hot oven, or reheat it. That's just not done. So, Dana was yelled at for using 3 different saute pans to cook 3 different pieces of fish, and for the same table, she could have used one thing, but she was like in the diary room, it doesn't matter, it's the same thing, tomatoes. Hey, Dana, just do what Chef Ramsay tells you to do. That is what Hell's Kitchen is about. You just do it. You don't know everything. So, in the end, the red team celebrated with champagne and black jackets. They didn't have to nominate anyone this week, which was a huge relief because usually both teams have been losing. Blue team, major disappointment. They can't decide who to nominate. I can make that decision. Brian for the meat, obviously, and I'd say Robin because she has to start taking responsibility and working nicer with people in the kitchen. So, as it stands, Brian and Justin, they don't they won't nominate each other, so they always nominate Clemenza and Robin. When it gets down to the nominations, Chef Ramsay asks who got nominated. For sure, Robin, Clemenza says, but it's actually a tie between Clemenza and Brian. And he's like, you can't even, you had a horrible dinner service and you can't even nominate people without problems? Come on. All 4 of you step forward. Bum, bum, bum. So he then says, Clemenza, take off your jacket. Well, after they all fight for their lives and say their speeches as usual. And I'm like, he's going to give Clemenza a black jacket. Because the thing with Ramsay is, you could take off your jacket, but that might not mean you're leaving. He always has some witty thing to say. So in the end, black jackets went to Clemenza, Justin, and shocker of all shockers, Robin. Brian's gone. Sorry, Brian, but you ticked Chef Ramsay off last week with your fish issue, and this week you couldn't cook 1 piece of meat. Serious problems there. I mean, Robin may have had garnish problems, but she cooked them all properly. She didn't have any problems with that. So the bromance has now ended between Justin and Brian. Who will leave next week? I don't know. You never know because the promos are so big at lying to me. So I can't wait to see them all work in one kitchen. Boy, oh boy, good times to come. Till Monday.